Perfect. This is Jeandra, the best women's boxing show, period. And we are here with Oscar Valdez. Before we talk about the rematch, the last time I talked to you, you had a whole bunch of animals and alligators and horses and all those things. What's going on with the animals now?
I still have them. I still have my babies. I love them to death. Unfortunately, this year, one of my great loves of my animals, my dog, passed away. That was one of the saddest things I've ever had to encounter because it was my best friend, literally a man's best friend. My dog, Chapo, passed away. So it was a tough one for the ranch. But all my other animals are still there, from Steve, my alligator, and my horses, and pigs, my big aviator with all my parrots, bunnies, snakes, you name them, I almost have them.
I feel you on the dog thing. I lost my dog this summer too. It's hard. Rest in peace to the good doggies. Yes. But let's get into this rematch, an exciting fight. I like what you said up there, that there is still a lot of fight in you. Do you feel like at this stage, and given all the things you've proven, being a champion, that you still have to say that to people?
I do have, because I believe in boxing. Well, I don't believe. I've heard this a lot. You're only as good as your last fight. So my last couple of fights have not been so good, especially the loss of Vaquero. I came back with a victory with Leo Wilson. That was good, but I got to prove to myself that I am a better fighter than him. A lot of times, the better fighter doesn't win the fight, if it makes any sense at all. There's circumstances, there's things, and there's a mental game, and there's things in your favor that could play a factor and make you or help you win. At this, I also think that there's nights that are just simply not your nights, and I believe that's what it was for me. And not to say in any way of excuse, I just feel that I got more to show, I got more to prove. And I think this is a fight that I can show it. So this is another test for me. I thank the Lord for this another opportunity, because a lot of fighters don't get another opportunity. And I'm here right now, I feel blessed, and I feel excited to go in there and just prove to the world that we're still here.
Amen. Highly favored too. So in the preparation for something like this, do you spend time watching your previous fight? Is that something you want to repeat and rewatch and rewatch, or do you just start from a clean slate and start rebuilding new as if the fight never happened?
In my career, I don't watch my fights, win or lose. I wasn't watching film at all. I would just watch a little bit of his fights, but not my fights. My opponents in the past. But this camp had to be different. I had to be mentally, physically, and mentally more prepared. So I had to force myself to look and repeat that fight, to see what mistakes we did. We did a lot of mistakes. And for a lot of people out there, it might seem simple, but it was very hard for me to see that fight. It was very hard for me to see the things that I was doing wrong, seeing the beatdown that it gave me, and having to swallow that pill. So I had to study that fight. So that's what's going to make this fight different. That now I study my opponent the way that I fought him. So now I already know what to expect, and I know what to give inside that ring.
A different level of intensity came over your face when you said that. Do you think that's something you could translate in the future to teaching another fighter, or is that something you'll take with you when your journey is done?
Yeah, I've said this several times before. I love this sport. And I love fighters. I love seeing little kids put the gloves on and go to try to accomplish a dream, because I was once a kid who had dreams. When I would see Chavez or Morales, Barrera, Marquez, I was dreaming of being one of them. Not to say that I'm even close to them, but I was dreaming of being a world champion. So if I can inspire the new generation, I would do it. And this is the best fight to do it, so showing them that it is possible to lose and it can still come back. It's not the end of the world, because as fighters, we feel it's the end of the world. We think, all right, we're probably done in the sport. But no, I want to be one of those examples that you can lose, not just in boxing, but in life, but you come back and you come back strong. So yeah, to help out the new generation, I will, once all this is done, I will definitely sit down and try to help new generation fighters to try to accomplish their dreams, because they say one more athlete is one less criminal outside the streets. I was from the 90s. I was born in the 90s. Back in those days, it was very cool to be in gangs. It was very cool to be a thug. Inspired by the rap music, by all this. If it wasn't for boxing, I don't know what would have been with my life. So I want to inspire the new generation the same way I was inspired by my idols in boxing.
I Love that. And lastly, final question. Just as exciting as the main event is, I love how much enthusiasm that you both have, you and Vaquero, for the co-main. So will you tune into that fight knowing that you're getting ready to walk out? Or, how engaged do you want to be in watching the co-main?
I mean, I usually see the fights because we have a TV on the dressing room. I'll pay a little bit of attention to it, not too much attention because I'm focused on my thing. But it's inevitable because when we're training, we look at TV and then you see something good happening, and you get excited. So it's almost like a win-win because it helped me gets me excited as well. So yeah, I wish nothing but the best for those two fighters.
Well, I thank you for talking to me. Very excited to see you perform on Saturday night. Remember, tune in on Saturday night. Watch this gentleman. Watch Vaquero really throw it down on ESPN. We appreciate you. Thank you for talking. And keep tuning in. Best Women's Boxing Show, period. Thank you. Always a pleasure. Thank you.